Hi, welcome back to the Jack and Glenn channel. I'm Jackie.
And I'm my husband, Glenn.
He's my husband, Glenn.
Hey, before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that bell notification so you don't miss any of our reviews. Tonight we're reviewing Married at First Sight. Man, I'm going to call it decision day number 2. The decision day between Michael and Chloe. A lot into this episode, man. It's been a long 22 episodes so far of Married at First Sight, but we came to the finale, if you want to say, of the season of the series. Of the season, not the series, the season. And we saw the final decision day, Michael and Chloe. But we learned a little bit more about the other couples as well, and we wanted to give you what to talk about the other couples, the debacle there is of this season of Married at First Sight. I know a lot of you guys think it's the dumpster fire. It is the dumpster fire, but let's get to it.
I was gonna say, of course they couldn't take the whole episode and just focus on Michael and Chloe. No, they had to revive the trash.
They had to revive the trash. Things. I don't
relive the trash.
Yeah, relive the mess that was Married at First Sight. But season 17. But anyway.
Okay. So we see they talk to this little video of Becca and then a video of Austin talking about how they have texted over the past few weeks. It's, been friendly and everything went well. And he hopes that the couples are going to have their last little get together. He's hoping that goes well. And, they can laugh about a few things. And, for her, she says, which I don't, this just really bothers me. She says, I have to keep reminding myself that I'm not what's best for him. Austin's not my person. There's somebody out there for Austin.
That's how she got to keep herself. That's how she, and we see a little bit later when she talks to her therapist, she likes Austin. I think she really wants to be with Austin. If Austin came to her today and said, yeah, let's get back together, Becca will be like, I'm in. She like, I'm in. She still cares about Austin. Yeah. I think Austin cares about her, but neither one of them want to try to work on and get the relationship better, because her thing is, he gaslighted me. He's not honest, and he tried to silence me. And now, so I think she's so in cahoots with Claire and Emily that even if she did try to go back with Austin, it's like she's betraying them.
Well, and I don't want to get ahead when it comes to the Becca and Austin, but me and you had a conversation. I was like, I feel like, granted, we weren't there. We didn't see all the off-camera stuff, but still, from what we see of Austin and what his family and friends said about him, I just feel like Austin wasn't as bad. Like, he wasn't the worst. And I feel like he is taking the brunt of every other guy that she dealt with, that she ignored the red flags, and she felt bad about it. And like, his flags aren't even like super red. They're more like beige, or I don't even know what is yellow flags. And she's treating them like they are red hot.
But you know how it is, though. When your friends are going through misery and they're talking in your ear and they want you to be, misery loves company.
Yeah.
Becca's getting what everybody else is saying because you hear it from them. Oh, we comparing notes. All our husbands did this to us. All our husbands did. So they comparing notes, and now Becca is taking on the persona or feeling what the other girls are going through. Oh, that's Austin too.
And like I said,
that's Austin. And it's not what Austin did. He's like, look, everybody done it, right? There's certain things that people have. Miles and Karen talked about what they talked about on camera. Woody and Amani talked about what they talked about on camera. And
remember Sheila and Nate?
From
Sheila
Chicago
was adamant, like, no, we don't do this on camera.
Yeah, from Chicago season. She's from Chicago. Mm-hmm. They talked about what they did on camera. So again, everybody has done this, and so Austin was like, and truth, if you're really honest, Austin stayed true to her request. He didn't talk about her condition on camera.
He did.
She made the request that Austin, let's not talk about my sickness and me being sick on camera, and he honored that. So my thing is, if he honors your request, honor his request. Not talk about certain things on camera. Maybe he didn't feel comfortable talking about sex on camera. I don't want Johnny and Bao.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't talk about sex on camera. So again, if he honored her request, honor mine. So
Anyway, so and then we also see Emily talk about the get together, and she's like, hoping for the best and that we'll have fun, and she's not sure who's going to show up. I think we knew I knew that Brennan wasn't going to be there. I just knew he wasn't going to be there.
Yeah.
But anyway,
if I'm not contractually obligated to be there at this point, think about it. I mean, I thought about it this way too. Am I contractually obligated to be here at this point because y'all had an extra marriage? Because somebody else went a little bit longer. I don't think I'm contractually. And Brendan's like, I don't need to be there. I ain't gonna be fine. I forgot what they said he had.
Yeah, I'll get to it.
Yeah, he had a game or something.
He said he had softball or whatever.
Yeah, softball, yeah.
But anyway, so we see Michael and Chloe show up, which, I mean, I know they're one of the couples, but I feel like for the crap show that happened, they really should not have been there.
Yeah.
Maybe after the fact it would have been helpful, after they make a decision, because these are after decision conversations, whatever, maybe so, but like y'all haven't even made a decision yet, and it's a whole fallout with these other couples, and they're looking at everything just burned to the ground.
I'm glad they were strong enough not to let this sway them,
right?
Because some other couples would have took sides. Excuse me. If you look at it through most of the show, Chloe never really jumped on the other girls' bandwagon. She wasn't really part of the other girls, even when they did. Even when they did their photo shoot later, they didn't include Chloe. And they didn't include Chloe. So it's like,
I think that's because the solidarity thing for that photo shoot was, we made it past our ex-husbands and we're still strong women, and we want to celebrate ourselves. And she wasn't there yet. She hadn't made a decision.
But she's still part of the show. So either way, I think like you still include her. You ask her. I mean,
but the reason for we're jumping ahead, but the reason for the photo shoot was, in our marriages, like some things got torn down in us. And so after the fact, we're trying to build that up. And Chloe hadn't made a decision yet. So they don't know if she need to build herself up.
But even look at, I'm jumping ahead to even look at decision, like the after parties, she didn't win another pink with the rest of the girls. So it seemed like she was the outcast from the group.
Excuse me.
So, I mean, I don't know. I'm just,
I guess like you said,
observation.
Maybe she didn't have the same experience that they did. But anyway, so Michael and Chloe show up. Lauren and Ryan are there. Austin are there, and we see Becca and Austin share a hug. Yeah, and it looks kind of, and she's, she looked visibly like, oh my gosh, like she wanted to hold on to him long. I'm trying to get away from this. I just feel like she's self-sabotaged. Like, I feel like some of the things that, like, put it in perspective. If we were outside of this process and Austin was dishonest, as she said, I mean, this is a unique situation about cameras in my face. We talking about, I don't know how to act. I don't know you, or, we're strangers trying to get to know each other, and I feel like she just self-sabotaged. She says later, she talks about her anxiety and how she ruminates. And
they got to look at it as if they had to look at this process. Becca and Austin is one of the people that have to look at the process. We're just dating. Technically, we were married. If they were just dating, would she have tried to jump his bone within a month or two, right? Would she have? Is this your dating norm, right? And I think the thing when you put marriage on there, when she said married, they're like, oh, we can do these marriage things. He wasn't ready for that yet, and so with the dating process and him shushing her or silencing her, it is different. I mean, again, I have to go back to my real job. I have to go back to these real people. I don't want to put on the air of me being this type of way, or the world is seeing this. Millions of people seeing this. And I wouldn't say that if I was on a reality show, that there's some things I wouldn't want people to see or wouldn't want people to hear. Not that I'm ashamed of it, but because of the people's opinions, right? And their mindset. And so she was willing, and they both agreed to do it off camera. And then when this whole producer situation came, which, by the way, the producer got fired immediately, and there was no romantic relationship between Austin and the producer. They were just real friendly. But again, I blame Claire and Emily for this breakup, because they even when they had the little round table, the input that Claire and Emily added and the words they put into it, Emily being the one who called Becca and say, I see Austin out here. And, like, they sparked this fire and they allowed this ball to go. And Emily not Emily, Becca jumped on it, and her and Austin was separated. I think if they would have just allowed this to work out with the cameras being gone, Austin and Becca would have survived.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but again, it was just too much going on, and Emily, I blame Emily and Claire. I really do. And now Becca doesn't know how to come back from this because she really wants Austin. I mean, this whole episode,
she's like, I just really wanted to kiss him.
Yeah.
I was so glad to see him. You know.
Yeah, she really wants Austin.
But so when the couples get together, and we're jumping ahead, but
no,
but the one thing I noticed too is Orion, like, is hinting of something gonna happen. Orion speaks to Lauren, and she like, anyway, she was like not friendly to him at all. She didn't speak back. Austin talked about the fact that it was nice to see Becca. You know, feelings don't just go away, and that's true. Same for her. That's why I think she keeps saying to herself, I'm not Austin's person. That's how she's trying to talk herself out of her feelings, because she says, I miss him, you know, and all like that.
You are Austin's person. You just don't have, you're Austin's person. You're Austin's person.
Claire's not there because of work. And they're like, well, she's a therapist. Emily was like, oh, well, who has therapy this late at night? But okay, anyway.
Therapist got late sessions.
Yeah. And of course, we said Brennan's not there because of football. And so, I'm sorry, softball. And Austin asks Michael and Chloe, you know, so you two are still together, right? And Michael basically is like, for now.
Yeah, for now.
He kind of like, for now. He says, yes, you know, they've had some challenging moments. But he's been glad to face them with Chloe. And Chloe's like, you know, for every challenge, you know, that we've been through, you know, it's good to have, it's been beautiful because, you know, I'm with someone that's always thinking and we're willing to talk about what's going on. And so Chloe asks, okay, so what's up with you and you two, meaning Becca and Austin? And Austin's like, you know, we texted and it's all good. And Becca's like, you know, when I fall hard. So if it doesn't work out, like I have to remove myself from the situation. Mm-hmm. And, you know, disconnect and get away from it. And so it's difficult seeing him today. You know, we're not supposed to be together. Like, again, she has to keep telling herself this.
And that's
you're trying to convince yourself, like,
she's trying to tell herself they're not supposed to be. You are supposed to be together. Work it out. How many couples do you know that, like, they break up, get back together, and it's like the bomb, right? They have that moment where they separated, they get back together, and it's like it works out. So it may be a time that they needed to get themselves separated, get together, and move on, right? I mean, I see them potentially being able to work it. That's my thing with Married at First Sight. And we haven't seen it. We haven't seen a couple who say we don't, and they come back and say we do.
Right.
And there's several couples that could have said we don't, but eventually could have said, you know what, we do, mm-hmm. And worked out. And so I think they are one, right? They were one couple that could have said we don't and still would have worked out if they worked on themselves and get back together. So it's just like Becca and Austin need that time. She really likes him. He really likes her. It's just let's do it without the cameras. But again, Claire and Emily ruined that. So
yeah, Becca's like, you know, it's hard not to kiss him. I miss him. And Emily was like, you know, you're doing better and you're being a better friend to him at this point. And
sometimes you can't have the devil keep whispering in your ear.
Bruh, listen.
You can't let the devil keep talking to you.
So then Becca and Emily, they give kudos to Lauren for, even though her process ended way earlier than them, you know, she was still a source of inspiration for them, sending them inspirational quotes and giving Emily a book when I didn't even know I needed some encouragement and all. And Orion's like, yeah, you know, we've been through our stuff, but, you know, I still hold you at high regard. And Lauren's like, well, I don't have any regrets. But her thing is, you know, I kind of like, you know, checked out, you know, of my dissolved marriage and tired of waiting for the follow through with things. And I had to set boundaries and, you know, and here you go. Orion's like, you know, I've still been trying to wrap my head around that message that you sent. And Lauren says, take as long as you want. 9 days, 9 years, it don't matter. And I mean, it was petty. He was like, "Oh, you counting days?" Like
it goes back to the previous episode when she was with her friend.
Right.
I sent the message and it didn't need no response.
And he says, I want to respond to this. I got to formulate it. And she was still waiting for him to respond, which she goes into. She was like, I sent the message. You said, long story short, at the retreat, you said you wanted to try to be friends. I was fine with not doing anything. You said you wanted to be friends, but then you didn't do anything to try to be friends. I reach out to you. She said, every time I pull myself off this emotional roller coaster, you pull me back in for some bull crap. And then you don't do nothing. Like, what the heck?
A friend must show himself friendly, right?
Yeah.
A friend must show himself. If you don't show me friend qualities and you show me that you want to be friendly, then why are we gonna be friends? We're gonna be friends through osmosis? You're not doing anything that says friend, right?
Right.
And why do you want to be friends? Do you want to be friends so we can be more than friends later? Let's talk about the process. What are we doing here, right? There's some friends I know. Look, there's nothing going on with us, right? We got no relation. There's some friends that again, what is he trying to do? Hey, put your cards on. At this point, what do you got to lose? Put your cards on the table. Look, hey, Lauren, I'm trying to be friends so we can try to be together again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm over the whole Redskin situation. I think I need you back. I realize I made a mistake. He never said it that way.
Well, because then he gets on the offensive because she calls him on his bull crap. It's like, I feel like you offer things and then you don't follow through. And he was like, well, I wanted to give a more thorough response. And she's like, but what I sent you didn't require a response. You were the one that wanted to give a response.
Philosophical and deep when he's around the group. Watch the show and watch Orion go through the season when he only philosophical and deep when he's around the group. When he's by himself or he's just him and Lauren, he doesn't say anything.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't say nothing. But when he's around the group, it's like he has much to say and he wants support and backing.
Yeah. She was like, I was just, I feel like I was being very compassionate and understanding and giving room for them to still chat about it as much was necessary. He was like, yeah, you got all your bases covered. She said, see, what's the problem? And he's like, the problem is, that there's an expectation to it. She said, I didn't ask you for anything. I pulled away. You pulled me back. I didn't want to be there, but you were insistent upon wanting to have a friendship. And so I was like, okay, maybe he really wants to, I'm going to try. And you pick me up just to let me down.
If she could have called him a Negro. She about to say, it looked like she about to say Negro, please, but she can't. She stopped because she was going in. If you want an angry black woman. If you want an upset black woman, then you got
So I was trying to give you what you asked for. And he was like, what was that? She said, a friendship. You said you wanted a friendship. And he's like, you can't even have a tough conversation. She's like, look, I feel attacked. And I don't understand the reason why you acting like this. And Orion's like, I don't feel like I'm getting anything that I wanted. And Emily was like, okay, you all haven't had a chance to talk. And y'all both have different communication styles, whatever. And Orion's like, oh, she's been checked out for a while. Why he say that? Lauren was like, no.
What?
Sir, I don't know who the freak you think you talking to, but you checked out. Orion, real quick, I don't know if y'all caught this. Orion tried to throw in there, oh, you started dating. What that mean? I'm not with you. You said, you cut it off as soon as we got back from the honeymoon.
Yeah, you cut it off.
And Austin's like, I have a question. It seems like neither of you want to be in each other's lives. And Lauren's like, right. No, that's why I said in a message, the only reason that we would need to talk is if we're going to be in each other's lives. And it doesn't seem like that's what we actually want to do. And Ryan's like, okay. Lauren's like, okay. And shakes her head.
He's trying to make moments on TV.
It's just, and so anyway, so Emily says, well, going on, on that note, of not wanting to be friends with your ex, she said, I feel like me and Brendan are in different realities. We're both in the same situation, but we're seeing it differently. And it sucks. And it's like, did I ever really have feelings for him? I feel like things were calculated. And Orion's like, well, what was calculated? And Emily's like, you can't get married and spill your heart out and say you're connected and then put these guardrails up and then act like there's this plot that we're all trying to follow, like you're going by a script. And, you know, we felt like you guys.
See, how you have that person. This is my problem. There's some people that shouldn't be the spokesperson for the group.
No.
Emily shouldn't be the spokesperson for this group. Because, again, she played Brennan. She played the group. She played herself. Because, again, at the end of the day, she was the one who cheated on him. And you expect him to just go along and get along?
Yeah,
ain't nobody can't just go along and get along. Right? And you're talking about it became a united front. The women became a united front against some of these men. And the men like, yo, ain't nobody silence you. Ain't nobody tell you to be quiet. He didn't hold your tongue. Right? You can say what you want to say, feel what you want to feel. It seemed like majority of the women were the ones that didn't want things to be put on camera. And he's like, yo, but you don't try to destroy me because of your own insecurities. And this is the person who's never been in a serious relationship. I keep saying this. She's speaking for the group of women who've been in relationships. You have never been in any serious relationship. You used to one night stands. You used to just sleeping with anybody, right? And you're gonna be the spokesperson, and y'all gonna let her speak? Come on, y'all.
Yeah, she was like, y'all guys tried to set your trajectory of everything, and we didn't have a shot. And Orion's like, no, I didn't cut anything short. And Lauren's like, now hold on, player.
You cut this relationship.
You did. You cut it short. You did.
His feelings were hurt.
He was in his feelings. Becca's like, at the end of the day, it feels like the women came armed and ready to make these marriages work, and the guys didn't. Austin, why she say that? Austin was like, now look, I wanted to be in marriage. I hear you, but I personally feel attacked.
Yeah.
Because I came into this with the right intentions, whether you believe it or not, and I tried my best to make us work. I made mistakes. I acknowledge that, but
Austin should have just had sex with her, and that would have fixed the whole problem with him.
Ain't that some bull crap?
If he would have just had sex with her, it would have fixed the whole problem. She wouldn't have felt attacked. She wouldn't have felt that there was issues going on. He's done everything. Only thing he didn't do in their relationship that we saw, only about what we saw, is not have sex with her. He treated her right. He talked to her correctly. He didn't go off on her. None of that stuff. He just didn't have sex with her when she wanted to have sex. He even overlooked the not being the same religious statute. He overlooked all that, the crime. He was there for her. He was compassionate. He was all those things that we saw. Only guy can go off what we saw, right? And she still tried to manipulate. Like he was doing all this. If he was doing all this, then you lied the whole season, because you didn't show us this until the last couple of days of the episode of the season. So where was all this when you was trying to sleep with him? It seemed like from what we see, all this came up and became a big issue after they left the couples retreat, when he didn't want to, rather sleep in Vaughn Miller's bed than sleep with her. Mm-hmm. And it seemed like didn't all that starting to spark up. So I'm like, hey, what in the world? It's like the girl who break up with you in high school or middle school and say, oh, start talking about your Johnson or talking about all the other stuff. Now you start making stuff up.
But you brought up a good point, because, like you said, Austin, we don't have the same religious beliefs. I'm gonna try to work with that. You got a health challenge. I'm coming into this at a deficit because I'm in sickness and in health. I'm already on the sickness side. Mm-hmm. So he worked with that, and it's almost like Lauren and Orion, just in a different way. Like I'm being flexible when it comes to your issues, but you can't be flexible when it comes to mine.
Hey, I told you, Marlo Stanfield from The Wire said it. You want it one way. I'm a big Wire fan. You want it one way, and in this relationship, she wanted it one way. It was not a reciprocal relationship. She wanted Austin to do all the bending, and she wasn't willing to bend in certain situations.
Why did you say that? All I think about is that clip of, what is it? It's Janet Jackson and the guy. Oh, so you doing the bending? You doing the bending? Yeah. So I ain't bending over for nobody else. You doing the bending? He was doing the bending.
It was. I mean, I'm not saying she didn't bend from what we saw. I can't go off camera stuff, right? I can go what she says off camera stuff, but what we saw on camera was not portrayed. I didn't see that side of Austin. Mm-mm. And so for her to say he's doing all this stuff, and that's why he like, hold up. I like the fact that he stuck up for himself for the first time. Uh-huh. Like, you're not gonna do this. We're not doing this right here. he should have stuck up for himself when he was with the group. Like, look, me and you need to step away.
I think it
We
just
have a
caught him
conversation.
off guard so bad.
Yeah.
He just couldn't do it. And Austin just does not come across as the confrontational type person. And so when she confronted him like that, he was stuck. But here's to your other point. So when Austin makes his comment, then Emily chimes in, oh, I believe you and I believe that, but I believe that the men, it was about priorities and prioritization, and the men and the women prioritize things different. We prioritize the marriage, and y'all prioritize your reputations and took the easy way out. And Orion comes, it came down to boundaries. And Lauren's like, hold on. I got emotional discomfort.
He didn't stop talking.
When you say that. Oh, because this what he said. Let me go back to this. Yeah. Because Orion threw in there that he was done day 2. And she let it slide when he said it the first time. But when he came back to this, you talking about it came down to boundaries. Well, how about this, sir? You're going to say I was done on day 2, but on day 3, you say you was catching feelings. On day 4, you was crying in my arms. On day 5, you're saying thank you for your patience. On day 6, you saying I ain't got your back. She ran the days down.
Yeah.
So how you gonna try and say you tried when you had lied to me the whole time from day 2 to back to the hunt till we get back from the honeymoon? Like you lied the whole time. You were checked out. If you're checked out, then just leave. She said, go, leave.
But if you checked out, why are you crying in my arms? If you checked out, why are we having this sexual conversation while we at dinner? If you checked out, why are you asking me about
my... Because you try to say, I was trying real hard to stay in it and not leave. She said, I would have rather you be honest and just get going.
But he never really clarified what made him check out.
No, he didn't.
So my mind started wondering, what made you check out? Was it the African American that made you check out? Was it a conversation that made you check out? What was it that made you check? Did you look at the other women? Like, what made you check when you met her family after day 1 and you realized, this is not a person I can run over?
Yeah, what was day? I mean, day 2.
What made you check out at day 2? Did she snore? Right? Did she have a body odor? Like, what day 2 you checked out? At least Chris was on us day 1. So I gotta go with Chris. Chris was from Atlanta season. Chris told y'all day 1 at the reception, I'm not attracted to her. He said it day 1. I'm not attracted to her. At least be honest. See, those are conversations that you're having at night. You know what? I think you look cute. And you're not really my type. But you know what? I'm going to try to work this thing out. Mm-hmm. Like, be honest with who you are.
Yeah.
Like,
she's like, I would have rather you be honest. And, she's talking. And he was like, well, will you let me finish? She was like, no, I'm not going to let you finish. You're going to let me finish. Because you didn't let me finish in this marriage. There's a lot of things you ain't let me finish. But I'm getting ready to finish this today. I'm tired. But Austin's like, I think we should. She cut him off. I'm tired of y'all interjecting. Yeah. Close your mouth.
I told you that.
Sit down and be quiet. Because I'm getting ready to talk now. The queen is talking.
Yo, she let you talking about her. She about to
for
get
the
you.
old and the new.
She about to get you for all her ancestors.
All of them. And she was like, I'm tired of y'all. Look, I didn't do that with you. With you and Becca stuff. I ain't interjecting nobody's stuff.
Nope.
So I'm going to talk because it's valid. Mm-hmm. She said, and that's where I said, this is where she said, you put me on a emotional roller coaster. I got off, you dragged me back in. And so finally I was like, maybe you dragged me back in publicly, as you said. Mm-hmm. And maybe this time he actually wants to show and prove, and you didn't.
He didn't redeem himself.
You literally gave me nothing. And Orion had to sit there with himself and say, you know what? This is what I discovered about myself in counseling, in therapy, that I realized that I generalize.
Be true.
And I don't give specifics. So I apologize if it came off like this, but I genuinely hold you in high regard. You're a smart, beautiful woman. And even if we're not friends, that's okay. He was like, let me just cut my losses.
Cut your losses. Be true to thyself, and to thyself be true. All right. He had to realize and recognize, you know what, this ain't one I want to mess with. And I hated that she had to kind of go there, but she had to go there in order to let him know, like, don't play with me. I ain't no toy. I've been holding this in all season long. Don't play with me, boy, because I ain't the one. And sometimes in this instance, she had to do that because he kept playing. Let me see what I can get. And she let everybody else know, look, I ain't mess with nobody else. I don't bother nobody.
But
I ain't nobody, ain't nobody else's relationship. I don't look. I'm just about us. And you're
unlike Claire and Emily.
Claire and Emily was in everybody's relationship.
It's basically what she said. Because if you look at it, Becca and Emily said Lauren was encouraging to us.
Yep.
She didn't go and say, Austin, I think you should. Brennan, why don't you? She said, I drink my water and mind my business.
My business.
I'm attend to these women because I'm connected to these women. What y'all do over there is what y'all do over there.
And again, they couldn't handle that. The women, Orion couldn't handle her anyway. He can't deal with a strong woman, right? And that's what she was. She's a strong woman. Strong. I'm gonna say strong black woman. It's my channel. He couldn't deal with a strong black woman. And then what it is, we
ain't for the faint of heart. I'm trying to tell you.
But no, because again, there's a certain way that you have to treat people. I think all women should be treated with dignity and respect. But I think African American women are treated differently because they've been through a lot, and you have to treat them with compassion and love, especially when you don't understand the culture. He didn't understand the culture,
right? So
when he's outside, the thing is, she wasn't dealing with another African American person. She was dealing with a Native American who doesn't know the culture. What he knows is what he sees off of TV. And we know how diluted TV is when it comes to the African American culture, all right? So he didn't understand it. He understood the songs and all this other stuff. That's why he could say the N-word, why he listens to rap music and think nothing of it, right? Because he didn't understand it, didn't magnify it. Which again, it's so hypocritical because you can say it in songs and all this other stuff, and she really don't know what Redskin and she said, and you're mad.
Yeah, because just to highlight this is because I'll just put it like this. There are a lot of, and I ain't trying to get real deep and philosophical, but you think about it like this. There are a lot of Black women, Black females that go missing. You never hear about it. There's so many Black females that go through, you know what I'm saying? And so this is what she has to contend with, not being seen, not being heard. And 9 times out of 10, if you're familiar with the culture and you understand that, then you can relate to her in that way. Right. But really what you did was you contributed to the not being seen,
not being heard. But he wanted her to connect to his culture, but he was really willing to connect to hers. Exactly. He wanted her to understand his culture and his Native American history and heritage, but he really wasn't willing to connect to the African American culture or heritage that she has, and he didn't know how to deal with that level. Because again, if he understood that when she was crying and telling her she's sorry, I don't understand, he would have believed her, right? Mm-hmm. He would have took that and said, okay, she didn't understand, I'm gonna chalk that one up to her ignorance. But again, when the white guy said it on the bus about the reservations, you were so quick to easily forgive him because he didn't understand, because you chalked it up to him from Australia. No, it's still different. I'm from Colorado. I never heard the word Redskin before. I don't know what it means. Mm-hmm. He's from Australia. He didn't know what the reservations were. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he knew what the reservations were. He just didn't put it in the context.
It's like giving a dude, he on the bus with a whole bunch of Caucasians and they talking about plantation. Like, you see,
I'm not visiting.
No, we're not visiting plantation. So you see what I'm saying? So it's like those type of things where it became did not know, and she didn't understand. And you got to give grace in both situations and circumstances. And he wasn't willing to give grace to his own spouse. But he was willing to give grace to a stranger. And she was a stranger too.
She was a stranger, but she was your stranger spouse.
She's a stranger spouse, but you got to give me some grace. Yeah. Because I gave you some grace.
And that was their whole thing.
The whole thing was
that was her whole thing.
Like, you didn't give me no grace.
Yep, I gave you grace.
And you give me none.
And you gave me none. And again, if you're familiar with the culture, and then you know that is that's a thing.
Big thing. And I kind of blame Married at First Sight. Sometimes you shouldn't put that together. But I guess the choice is Slim Pickens.
Well, I don't know. That's got to be. If it's not, it should be.
Pretty close?
No, what I was going to say, that should be on the application. If it's not, then it should be, because the truth of the matter is everybody is not fit or capable or can handle a interracial relationship, and what comes with that. Everybody, and it's not just black and white. It's black and Hispanic. It's black and Asian. It's white and Asian. It's Native American and black. It's
African American and Dominican. I mean, let's be honest. It's African, and so it's like, and we're close, right?
So you have to take that into consideration. Okay, so, and not only, okay, so are you okay with, how do you feel about interracial relationships? Do you feel like you can handle what is attached to being in an interracial relationship when it comes to understanding each other's cultures and stuff? But anyway, so
we saw it on well, I saw it on Love Is Blind. You know, with Brittany and Kenneth. So yeah, you didn't. People looking for you though. They was wondering where you was at. I know. They was wondering where you was at. They wanted your, but you know, Love Is Blind anyway.
But this is Married at First Sight, so
but I had to compare the two.
I know. No, I'm just saying we ain't talking about that.
We ain't talking about that. But she's here.
But yeah, but Austin is, you know, out of this, Austin was like, you know, I think, you know, we all want the best for each other, but it was hard. And he, like he said before, he came into this last couples meeting hoping that we could be, you know, kumbaya, and it ain't turn out that way. But
because you got people keep stirring the pot.
I hope we can still come out as companions, you know, because all of us went through one of the craziest experiments in the world, and like we're the only ones that can relate to each other, except for the people that were also on the other seasons of Married at First Sight. And Emily was like, you know, even though we talked about some negative things, you know, I still think it was productive that we got a chance to clear some feelings. And, you know, I don't want to discount the very important decision that we have coming up with Michael and Chloe. So, okay, even if you don't join our club, maybe you'll start a new club. So best of luck to y'all, is what she said.
Now, I want to say this. Yeah, y'all may not watch After Party, but Emily had some real strong thing to say about Cameron. She thinks Cameron, after heart surgery, should have been in the club with them at this party. She was like, oh, Cameron should have been here. He could have been here. And Keisha was like, you know, he just had heart surgery like a couple of days before. But yeah, he still could have just been there standing there drinking water. You insensitive person. That's why my view of Emily has changed as the season progressed.
But Cameron's thing, and the last interaction, he was like, Cameron was another one. I ain't with the bull crap neither. I'm
done.
You ain't gonna have me sitting at home palpitating, and I gotta go and have another atrial flutter procedure. Because, side note, we also found out from After Party that this is why, and this made sense. That's why I was like, as a nurse and being familiar with atrial flutter procedures, I was like, why is he so out of commission? He went to the hospital several times for this issue. It wasn't just a one-time thing. He went several times.
Yeah.
And even before it got to the point where he had to have the procedure, he got seen for the issue. So, but yeah. So anyway, then we see Becca talk to her therapist. She talked about seeing Austin, and was her anxiety too high for him? And the therapist is like, but your anxiety is not the reason why y'all broke up. I beg to differ.
Yeah, I kind of beg to differ too. Her anxiety is the reason that she didn't feel comfortable. She did
a lot of self-sabotage.
A lot of self-sabotaging. Like, let the guy love you, right? Trust me, everybody likes intimacy. Everybody likes relationships. Everybody likes to be touched. Everybody likes to be hugged. You have to do it in itself. You have to be move at your partner's pace. In theory, in essence, move at his pace. Y'all guys they was doing other things. He wasn't just penetrating. From what I gathered from them, again, then you move at a slow pace. Get the love other ways. We had an old guy say, sometimes you gotta get it from the eyes, right? The touch, the love and kindness. So again, it becomes a lot of things. And she really even talking to her therapist, she like, I want to be with Austin.
Mm-hmm.
Then go be with Austin.
Be with him.
If you want to be with him, go be with him. Go try again. After
Without the cameras.
Because you technically.
And then if you still see the same stuff without the pressure of filming and having to work and having to do this, then be like, forget it.
Again, like I said, just because you say no on decision day, y'all not officially divorced.
Right.
You're still married.
Right.
The papers are not signed.
Right. But for some people, like you use the example of Bow and Johnny, and then Chloe says it later. Also, you got some people that's like, I'm either all in or all out. And so like Bow and Johnny's thing was, it was like, if you say no on decision day,
I'm out. Deuces.
What you're saying no is no to anything. Forget it. Not doing it. So, I mean, hopefully it wouldn't have been that situation. But yeah, I can say no on decision day. Like I'm saying no to being married, but I'm not saying no to trying to still date you. Mm-hmm. Or I'm saying yes to marriage because, like you said, I'm saying yes to we're dating. We're married on the paper, but we're still we're dating, we're courting. And so, but yeah, her therapist was like, Becca's thing was, the on and off camera behavior, like him being different. Like I just couldn't get past that. The therapist is like, is there anything that, can get the trust back? And she's like, no, nothing can be done. And so the therapist is like, well, just get back to the Becca you were beforehand. You need to remember, what do you need to get there? She's like, I gotta remember my gut, and my anxiety speaks to me, and I often put on rose-colored glasses for the person I'm involved with. And this is why I said, Austin is paying the price for the other ones that you didn't. And people do this. Got me once, not gonna get me again. And so you don't let even the slide. And sometimes that's good, sometimes it's not.
Yeah.
You don't let nothing slide.
Nah.
Because you won't get me like they got me. And I just really feel like that's what she did to Austin. And again, it's a different situation. The other relationships you were in were not on camera. You weren't in this process. You didn't marry them at first sight. It's a whole lot of stuff that comes with that.
Yeah.
And so I just feel like she should have really cut him some slack, giving him a little more grace than she did. But, her thing, again, she has to keep telling herself, he'll be a great husband for somebody. He's just not my person. But then she says, if I put everything I wanted in the perfect human that was for me, he would look like Austin.
He would look like Austin.
But I would put honesty as a priority in it, and somebody that prioritizes me.
And I think what you guys are missing, what some people are missing, she was like, Austin lied about vaping. He lied about some other things that he didn't want to be seen on camera, right?
To me, that's
the biggest thing was he didn't want people to know he vaped. He didn't want people to know, what was the other thing? The sexual situation. Again, he did some things he didn't want to be shown. And she was like, well, he kept lying.
He probably been hiding the vaping thing from, obviously.
He probably hiding vaping from everybody, a lot of people. So he felt embarrassed by those things.
Mm-hmm.
And which I get it. Nobody wants to see their vices, because we talked about Virginia the whole time because she was drinking, right? And that's maybe something he's been dealing with in himself to try to stop, and he can't stop it, whatever case may be. But I think at that point you're supportive. You don't be, and then I'm not giving Austin the clean slate, because again, don't lie to your partner about something simple. Yeah, I still vape. I'm sorry. You caught me in the bathroom vaping. I apologize. Well, I'm trying to stop. Don't be that guy, right? Mm-hmm. If you tell me I'm going to stop, then try to stop. Don't lie, especially if I catch you red-handed. What you lying for? Mm-hmm. And I think that was a big thing. Like, you're lying to me in my face. What else are you lying to me about? And it's like the boy who cried wolf. I think he lied so much in a relationship that she just didn't believe him for anything anymore. She didn't believe him, like, why he didn't want to have sex. She didn't believe him, like, with the producer. She didn't believe him all these other things, because he lied about simple things. And she's like, well, if you lie about the simple stuff, then you're going to lie about the big things. And I think that's what made her feel like, you know what, that's why honesty was really big to her. And I got it. If honesty is your big thing in a relationship, then and it doesn't work out, then that's I get that. Because you gotta have honesty in a relationship, you gotta be honest, you gotta be able to communicate. Yeah. And those are two things that you really need in a relationship: honesty and communication, and everything else can work out.
The last thing with all the couples, it was really just the girls thing, and so they had a lingerie shoot, and they talked about what's your least favorite attribute or body area, whatever. What's your favorite? And so Becca's like, we're just gonna do this to kind of like free ourselves from what we've been through with our exes, and just really shed those relationships that we kind of lost ourselves in. And so they have a nice little lingerie shoot or whatever. And the pictures turned out nice. Only thing I didn't understand was, like, we're watching her take pictures of all the other girls, and they took pictures of her with a Polaroid.
Yeah,
I didn't understand.
She wanted to touch her cameras and stuff.
But somebody else was there taking pictures, because there's pictures. There was times when the four of them were posing, and Becca ain't take that, or maybe she put it on a timer. That's possible. The only other thing I will bring out with that is when Becca comes out in her lingerie, she makes a point to say, "This the lingerie I had for the couples weekend that I had in my hand when I asked him, did he want me to go with him to Von Miller's room?" And he was like, "I mean, you can if you want to," and then you decided not to.
He should have said yeah. But so y'all, let's not go there. Sometimes women want a definitive answer, because you say, if you can go there, then you give me an option or a choice. If he would have said yes, she would have hopped her little happy-go-lucky butt down the hallway, and they would have went to Von Miller's room. All right, he should have said yes. He was just so excited about. Plus, here we go. Alcohol was involved, so he's already drunk. Mm-hmm. He's not thinking clearly, and he doesn't understand what she's trying to say. Mean what you say and say what you mean. Do you want me to come down to Von Miller's room and put this on for you?
But I think
and then he was like, "Oh yeah, that's what's up." Or should we work on it? See, sometimes things are lost in translation, and some might say, "Oh, she don't have to do that," but at the same time, I think you do have to. Sometimes you have to be very clear in your communication, and you can't leave it up for chance. And so we expect people to be, and some people are intelligent. I'm not saying intelligent, to know what we're talking about. Things have to be laid out, so there's no interpretation. I don't leave it up to my interpretation. Let me know what it is.
Well, and I was going to say, on the flip side too, as a woman dealing with with men, sometimes men get excited about some things that don't, and vice versa. But she should have seen the little boy in Austin in that moment. Like, it didn't make no sense. You want to sleep? Like, what is that? I just want to go sleep in his room. And just roll with it. It don't make no sense to you, but
roll with it.
Yeah, and don't wait. In this fact, yes, he could have been clear and said, like, I want you to come, but she also could have been like, I'm coming with you.
Right. She could have got himself coming with you. So again, I blame both of them.
I don't know why you want to sleep in his room so bad, but I'm coming.
Let's go do some things in this room. Let's go handle business. So let's make it do what it do. That's what I mean. That was, think about it.
But she was so stuck on the fact that he was all giddy about some football player's room, and this is stupid. You want to go sleep in his room? Okay, it don't make no sense to you.
That's what the weekend was for. They packed all this stuff for that weekend to do all these different things, and his opportunity presents itself, and nobody took advantage of it. And that would be my question to her, and I hope somebody asked the question. Kevin Frazier, if you and Austin had sex, would it be different? Mm-hmm. What would have been done differently, or what could have been done differently in your relationship? Because I think that is a big key there with why she's doing the way she is. But again, back to that photo shoot, I thought everybody did well. You mentioned, like, I don't know, Brennan messed up because Emily looks beautiful. She did look beautiful, but again, her inner stinks. Her inner behavior, and some people think beauty can look good on the outside, but your attitude, the way you present yourself, you're being drunk, you're doing all the being flirtate, that turns a guy off.
It does, but this is
regardless of how beautiful you are, there's some things that turn people off. And I think the way that she behaved, the way that she portrayed herself, the way that she talked, Brennan was like, you know what, I don't want to.
But if you ask me, I'm sure that has something to do with it, but I think from the jump, he was not physically attracted to her.
I think he was. I think it switched on the honeymoon. Remember, look, he was touching her. He was doing all the things. It shifted on the honeymoon. Something happened when she got drunk. Remember, she fell in the shower on the honeymoon. So she might have been sloppy drunk that night and couldn't get together. He was like, you know what? That's not what I want.
Oh,
and then with the comments that she made about challenging his manhood too, when they was having a competition, you sloppy drunk and you challenge my manhood. I don't want to do that either.
Mm-hmm.
So again, those are questions that we want to get answered that we don't know have the answer
that we
to.
won't get for 2 weeks because next week.
Yeah,
which is actually this week.
Yeah, I don't need to see this whole.
We're gonna see some past participants from Married at First Sight, and I only saw one couple. That was Jamie and Doug. And the rest was the single folks that I could
care less about.
Well, I like what's his face? Bennett. I like Bennett. So I don't mind hearing from Bennett, but I don't want to hear nothing from Eris. If you on social media, you know what's going on with
Stasha.
No.
You follow Stasha, you know what's going on with her too.
Right, but I'm talking about Paige. You know what's going on with Paige. Mm-hmm. But so anyway.
Yeah, it's to me like you can do this show.
Give me
this show can be done after the reunion. Give me the reunion, then give me that show.
Yes. Yeah. So the last couple standing, we got Michael and Chloe. We see Chloe go out with her friend Caesar, and she basically breaks the news to him that me and Michael were doing good, and now it's like things have changed, and
tides have turned.
He's not sure if he wants to be married, like where'd this come from, and Caesar's like, how did it change? And she's like, I think he's scared, and I am too. And Caesar's like, but I don't think you all could at least try to get back to the place where y'all were. And for her, she was like, I feel like we could too. It's hard for me, even with this short time, it's hard for me to imagine my life without him. But I'm not sure about if this should be us going forward. So
why not?
She said she's torn. We see after the couples meet up, we see Michael meet with his friend Sam, and he shares that Sam is his only friend there that's married. And so he said he wanted to pick his brain, with decision day coming up, he's at a place where he's emotionally where he feels optimistic. Can we continue this? I got these negatives and these positives, and Sam is basically, you gotta what's the negatives and positives? He was like, well, the negatives are I got some fear, I got some concern, I got some discomfort. I'm in a place where I've never been before. I don't know where it can go or if it can go from here, but the positives are, there's excitement, optimism, and joy. And, I'm hoping that the positives will outweigh the negatives. And so Sam was like, well, do they now? He was like, I don't have a clear answer this time. And basically what it really boiled down to, and what Sam said to him is, you got to put yourself out there.
Yes. It ain't easy.
Nobody knows. It could not work. It could work. That's the uncertainty of it, but that's what you go in trying to figure out.
But that's why you signed up for this show. That's why you gave it a second chance.
And that's the part that pissed me off.
That's why your first wife, that's why she left you. But they gave you another opportunity because you really wanted to be married. And so what you're telling us now that you don't want to be married. You really want to be married. And you found a good girl. Y'all didn't have an argument. Y'all wasn't fighting. She met you. She compromised with your clothing. She compromised with everything. Great conversation. She was like, yeah, y'all felt each other attractive. Y'all had the same mindset. And then at the end of the day, you feel like, I don't know. Like, what making you feel like I don't know? Because from what we see, everything is going well. You're still speaking kindly to each other. Y'all really fuss with each other. Y'all didn't do and
that's what he stressed. He said, it's something internal in me, his friends like, are you scared that you'll say yes and then it won't progress? And he was like, yeah. And his friends like, I get that your problems are internal, it's on you, but trust in yourself too. Mm-hmm. Put trust in a relationship, and trust yourself that you can be what it is that you're aiming to be. Give yourself some time. And because his friend Sam says, I know you got the skills to be a good husband and to make the relationship last, whatever, beyond this. And you know, if I was you, I would say yes. And so we see Chloe book a cabin for them from one last time where they'll be together for decision day to try to get back to the place where they were before he started overthinking. And
really overthinking.
You know, in the end, it's like they determine whatever decision day has for us, you know, is going to be what it is. She said, I'm deeply thankful to have been through this process with you. And, you know, it just reminds me how much I want to do life with somebody, even if it's not you. That's where I am with it. And so one day to decision day, we see them, nobody stays in the apartment. They go back to their own places to kind of sort out their feelings and their thinking or whatever. And they obviously did not come to a consensus about what they wanted to do. And mostly all of that was on Michael. I think Chloe was resigned with what her decision would be in that moment. And Michael was the one like kind of going back and forth. So
Chloe was, I mean, her mind, she said, I want to be, she kind of said what we talked about, what we always talk about. I want to continue this to see where it goes.
Mm-hmm.
Michael was like, I don't want to continue this. I don't want to see where it goes. I think it's going to lead to divorce. You don't know. Like if y'all doing everything, and Pastor Cal clearly, he was highly upset.
Well, now you're at their decisions. So he's fast forward.
But this is the same thing.
Yes.
What you saying that decision? So they were highly upset. You know, Pastor Cal was like, I don't understand. I don't understand. Dr. Pepper didn't understand. I didn't understand. And I'm sitting here watching it play out, and I'm sitting here like, dude, you're holding her hand. Y'all are like tight. Your body language is not saying anything other than we want to be with each other, that we like each other, and you're going to say no. Like,
it's like somebody asked you a question, are you okay? And you was like, yes, I'm fine. That's what it's given.
That's what it's given.
I'm holding her hand, I'm liking her, I'm acting like we're connected, but I'm steady saying.
And she still goes in and says, you know what? I wish you well. I still want you to be a part of my life.
And Dr. P was like, whew.
That's deep. You done broke my heart. And
but
you still.
In this, the suckiest part is.
And I still want you to be a part of my life.
The suckiest part. And like Dr. Pepper and I think Pastor Cal said it too. It's like, you know, when we came to you with the opportunity to give you a second chance at this, we saw somebody that we felt like was open and ready to, you learned a lot from being left at the altar, but you were still hopeful. And yet here we are. And really what it boiled down to is he said, I don't feel like I can be the person that you deserve. I don't feel like I can.
You don't know.
Sustain a marriage. Like
even when the things that he used for excuses, right? Or the things, excuses, the foster home, the foster kids, and the farm, those things can change over time. It may not be 5 kids. It may not be 500 animals, right? Those are things that you think about. You know, I'm gonna throw this up here. Answer your question, D. Do y'all think Chloe self-sabotaged by talking about the foster kids and farm? Was she trying to turn him away?
I don't think so. I think it's like what Pastor Kyle said. I think it was Pastor Kyle. Cal. I don't know why I'm saying Cal, but it still came out. Our pastor's name is Kyle. Just anyway. But it's a paralysis of analysis. It's like these are just things that I would like to do. It's not a have to.
Right. It's not a necessary thing.
Like Chloe said, these were the things that I wanted to do when it was just me. But when I'm including somebody else, I have to consider me. And so if, we might can get there. I'm really just sharing with you what my thoughts and my dreams and aspirations are. It don't mean we got to do it.
No, but let's have a conversation. We'll discuss it. We'll talk about it later. We'll table it for a while.
Yeah.
It's like anything else. We may not want to have foster kids the first year.
Right.
It may not be 5 at one time. It may be a process that we go, let's see how we manage 1. Let's see how we manage 2. Let's see how we manage one with 5 cows and 3 ducks. You know what I'm saying? I got a buddy like that, man. A buddy of mine who he's in a relationship with a lady, and they kind of inherited a farm and kids, you know, and their farm is growing as their kids are leaving the home. So it's like it's a process that goes to that point. You got to be able to embrace it, and you got to be on the same page.
Yeah.
So
ultimately, Chloe says she wants to stay married, you know, to see if we can still have more story to tell. And Michael's like, you know, I feel that I got to lean into my compass because my compass is my guiding thing. And, you know, when it comes to my emotions. And so,
too deep,
you know, how I feel about my ability to work on and grow this marriage. And it's a no for me. But she really did. She took it in stride because me, myself, have been like, you know what?
Let go of my hand. You'd have pulled your hand away. I'm not even going to sit here and lie to y'all. She'd have pulled her hand away and gave me a nasty look like, give me my hand back. It's what it is. It's what it is.
I definitely would have took my hand back. But I would have been like, I get it. Do what's best for you. Wish you hadn't wasted my time and did a second chance.
That's the thing. If he wasn't a second chance person, she might not have been on the show. But who y'all could have given her that would have been aligned with her even more?
She said, I'm not surprised he said no. He's not ready to give all that I need from him. And so it is what it is.
It's what it is.
They are 0-5 for Denver.
0-5. Yeah, 0-5 for Denver. Hey, I got a video that's going to be dropping soon about the success rate of Married at First Sight. So y'all be on the lookout for that. The percentage rate is ridiculous, right? It's ridiculous. But the success rate. But believe it or not, there are more couples who say yes on decision day. They're at 58% hit peak preview. They're 58% on decision day. But those who stay married after decision day, it drops it down to about 11. It drops it down about to 17%. But we'll talk about those couples and stuff later. But it's amazing how, I don't know, but we got where their show is contractually agreed to 2 more seasons, at least 2 more. You have
I feel like I hope after the next 2, you just
you got
give it up.
You got Chicago, which is next.
Which I've already seen them on social media. I've seen a particular Instagram person dropping pictures and people making comments.
Let's MASF fan. Give her credit. Him or her. I'm gonna say it's a her. It's a her. Yeah, give her credit.
Maths fan.
Maths fan, you know, give her credit for putting photos and stuff out there. Then after Chicago, they're going to Austin, Texas. And I need to call my buddy in Austin, see he applied for the show.
That's true.
I need to call my buddy in Austin.
But I'll be mad. Listen, I'll have to take me a flight to Texas. You do my bandwagon wrong.
You do my partner wrong in Austin. I'll see if he applied for the show. If he did. But if he did, y'all hear it here first. I'll spoil it.
Try to tell.
I'll spoil it. But we'll see. We'll see if give us your thoughts. What is your thoughts on this season of Married at First Sight?
Trash.
Your opinions.
Throw the whole season away.
Were your predictions correct?
I don't think nobody's was. Nobody predicted this. I think if nothing else, everybody.
I predicted Austin and Becca to stay married. They say I was halfway right. They said yes on decision day, but then they said no. They did a Justin and Alexis. So was anybody right? Did anybody get 0-5 without cheating? Let me know. Leave your thoughts in the comment.
Nobody did.
Leave your thoughts in the comment section below, man. We appreciate y'all for rocking with us on Married at First Sight. So we'll see where we go from here. We will be doing the reunion. Not sure if we do next week. I'm not 100% sure. We're going to do next week.
Really?
No.
You know we're not.
No, I'm talking about it comes on Wednesday. I can do it Wednesday night. She says that because I'm taking a trip next weekend. So that's why she said it. And I won't be here around on Sunday. So we'll see. I can do next Wednesday. There's no panel discussion next week. That's what it is.
I mean, it could be. If I felt confident running and felt like it, but
go ahead and run it. You can run that. Run this.
Let me see if you can run it.
You can run it. You can run all the equipment. You can run everything you need to run. You got all this. You got this,
I
man.
don't want to do it.
You can do it. You got
I
this.
just want to do it.
I need you to run it. If y'all want Jack to run it, give me a thumbs up.
Y'all can want me to all you want to.
You want Jack to run it? Let Jack and the rest of the crew run it next week and talk about the rest of
Maybe we'll turn the reins over to Tommy and I'll hop on.
You can do that. It's good. You know, go on. It's not complicated. You got a master's degree. You smart. You good. You can run this.
I felt so much sarcasm and just
see. I got a thumbs up.
Facetiousness.
You give me a thumbs up, Jack. You can run this without me. I agree. Look, the 201. You know, I always can remote in from my phone. And get
you can remote in, but at the time that we're gonna be doing this, you probably don't want to.
It would not have started yet. For y'all who don't want to
you don't know when I'm gonna do it.
Oh,
I might want to do it in the prime. I might want to do it right when one of the best things is happening that you're going to attend.
Look, I'm a big wrestling fan, y'all. I'm going to wrestling. I'm a big wrestling fan, so I'm going to WrestleMania. All right, so I'm a big wrestling fan, so I'll be at WrestleMania next weekend. So
and he's taking his little wife with him.
I'm taking my daughter. She's a wrestling fan like me, so we're both going to be at
WrestleMania.
So that's why I was like, you can do it.
He's taking his little wife.
Man, do what you want to do. do what you want to do. So anyway, but
they be walking hand in hand, going places, and leave me behind them.
Anyway, thank y'all for joining us. Thank y'all for joining. Make sure you hit the subscribe button.
I got proof.
Hit that bell notification. We appreciate y'all. That might be.
Trying to change the topic.
Look, I love that little girl. That's my buddy. Anyway, talk to y'all.
I gave them permission to go, just the two of them. I have some other obligations.
You guys have a great night. Appreciate you. Thank you for rocking with us, and we'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.